Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time to preview the Leipzig game, which is a pity really because we're enjoying the domestic football as it is just now. Feel like the European football is a bit of a distraction, so we'll start with a wee brief look back at Saturday and just how we're playing domestically just now.
Aye, phenomenal form. We've just hit a really nice vein of form in domestic football. I think when you look at even the way we played in the latter part of last season, maybe even across last season, there was just that wee kind of hangover probably for the invincible season, and then into this season we really went into a deep slump and all the kind of transfer fury that's well behind us now. We've really kicked on since we played probably the second half of the St Johnstone game in the cup, where we started to kind of come out and start pressing a bit and putting a kind of our style, enforcing our style into the game a wee bit more. And the weekend was like the ultimate culmination of that, because the way we played, we pressed high, everyone was contributing goals. We've seen that across the last few games. The players just seem to be hitting, maybe no top gear, but getting there. They seem to be getting back to where they were the first season under Brendan Rodgers, and it's nice to see. And to sweep aside Hearts, who are still top of the league, so convincingly, and make it look like they probably shouldn't have been in the same league as us, was just a joy to watch.
Aye, it's brilliant. Just now, it's just a joy to watch us. We're free scoring, the goals are been spread about the team, we're creating so many chances. Okay, Hearts, they were top of the league, still are, but they do have a lot of injuries, but on the other hand so do we. We've got 12 first team players out just now.
Right.
But it's interesting to see that without some key players that we're playing so much quicker, creating so many chances, and as you say, the confidence just seems to be back in everybody now.
Aye.
So let's get to Leipzig then. They had a good win themselves at the weekend.
Aye.
Since we played them a fortnight ago. They had a 0-0 draw with Schalke. They beat Hoffenheim 2-0, and they had a great victory at Hertha Berlin 3-0 at the weekend. We seen the first game. Obviously there was a perception in the first game that we were comfortable for the first half an hour and it was fine until the 2 goals went in. I actually watched the game back last night, and I think it's a wee bit skewed, that perception of the first half an hour, because we didn't get out our own half in the first 6 minutes. Leipzig pressed us extremely high right for the first whistle, particularly sort of Bowie and Encham in the midfield had zero time in the ball. Everybody was getting closed down. They almost forced us to play within 30 yards of our own goals. But then the first time we got out, we played a ball into the channel for Morgan, and Edouard had that chance that he put wide.
Yeah.
So do you think they're going to come with as aggressive an approach in terms of pressing as they did in the home game?
I think so. I don't think that a team with the quality that Leipzig have are going to come with any fear to Parkhead. Yes, they'll probably come and kind of take maybe a few minutes to settle into the game with the atmosphere, but I think once that dissipates, once they get, now we're in a game, we're more than capable of beating this side, we did that a couple of weeks ago, that'll be the mentality. I think that when they settle in to the game, then they're going to be just as aggressive and threatening throughout the game. I think it's not going to be easier, because at Parkhead we're going to have to play better, because at Parkhead, that's my thoughts on it are that they will come and go after it for the win. They know it's between us and them. They know that we have to do better than equal to the 2-0 or better than that if it comes down to a head-to-head thing at the end of the group.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is that all of the Red Bull teams, I think they try and keep a standard of, like a standard style, the way they play football. Seen it similar to Salzburg, obviously. I think they kind of have that blanket where they're trying to implement, kind of like maybe Man City are doing with their group of clubs. They're trying to implement the same style of play.
Yeah.
So I think they will press. They will press, and they'll come and be aggressive. But for us, if we're going to have some key players back, again, don't want to get into the team too much. We'll keep that for the start 11 prediction. But if we get some key players back like Forrest, and I think even if you look at the goals that Leipzig lost to Salzburg, they do, because they press so high, there's a lot of space in behind. So if we've got pace in the team and we can be sort of ruthless with the counter-attacks, because we did get some openings in the first game.
We did.
Again, when I watched it back, I thought there was 2 or 3 openings where we could just have worked it better. And again, it maybe comes back to that sort of calmness on the ball, like away from home in Europe, that we can hopefully have at Celtic Park. But if we can do that, then I think that's where we'll get joy.
I think even when you look at just how our play, our flow has improved in the last couple of weeks domestically, like just how the last 3 games is 13 without reply, like we've really got a bit of confidence, a bit of momentum behind us domestically, and you'd like to think that taking that into a game, especially at Parkhead, that there's going to be a bit more like clinical finishing. There's going to be confidence there when the shots do drop to us, that we can stick 1 or 2 of them away. And with them pressing, you can only see that it's going to be maybe counter-attacks that are going to allow us to get those goals that we need tomorrow.
Playing at home as well, I think we will have more of the ball than we did in the away game. But again, it comes back to that thing about belief in Europe.
Yeah.
The players should believe that they can get a result tomorrow. Thursday. They should believe they can get a result, and to do that, they've got to be brave on the ball and play under pressure.
Yeah.
But that should be a lot easier at home with atmosphere. It should hopefully be a full house. We're even getting the lights show before it, so hopefully that cranks up the atmosphere. We've been waiting a while for that. But hopefully the players can just thrive on that and take the game to Leipzig, because we didn't see that in the first game. We didn't put them under pressure, and if there is a weakness, they do press very well, and they are in an attacking sense they're very good. But I think if there's a weakness, it's defensively, and you can see that in some of the goals.
Both Red Bull teams, I think, defensively have got there's flaws there. There's areas you can exploit in the defence.
Interesting though, see talking to people recently, I've kind of sensed a bit of apathy almost about them, where people are like, I didn't think they were that good, and I think we'll beat them at Parkhead. And do you think that's because we're in a Europa League group, they're the pot 2 team in a Europa League group, as opposed to the pot 3 team in a Champions League group? Because I think that a lot of fans underestimate how good they are.
It maybe has something to do with the Europa pot 2. They're not Champions League standard from what, just the way it qualified.
They could be
the group. They could be, right, but they're not in the Champions League, which means this year they haven't earned Champions League standard status even. So if you think about, yes, they're a good outfit, and there's no arguing that both the Red Bull teams are really good outfits. They've got something. They play a really good, high pressing, attacking, flowing football, and they've got the quality player that can translate that into wins against most teams in Europa, as Salzburg showed last year. And I think that maybe we do slightly underestimate them, and maybe people have talked down how good they are. But again, they're not a Paris Saint-Germain, they're not a Man City, they're not these teams who you would expect and did prove and come to Parkhead and do damage. You wouldn't expect Leipzig to come here and do damage if we were on our game, if we were playing with the confidence and the belief that we can. And the players in our team are good enough to beat Leipzig. Is it going to happen? I would love to think so. But I probably went sidetracked a wee bit, but yes, they're good, but I don't think they're out of this world good. I don't think that they're a team that we should fear coming to Parkhead.
I think it's interesting just to see the way people view it. I think it maybe is a bit of the apathy's probably more towards the Europa League. I think obviously we've beaten far better teams before at Celtic Park,
100%.
but in recent years, I mean, going back any more than 2 or 3 years is irrelevant really.
Yeah.
Because European football is ever changing, and our status in it and where we can compete is ever changing. We can't beat the teams like your AC Milans and Man United's of like decades ago. So it's definitely a level that we should be competing at, especially in the home games, because we know when we go away, we know what to expect. It seems like it doesn't matter the competition.
Terrible as well, right?
It doesn't matter the competition.
Aye.
Celtic have a hoodoo away from home in Europe, which is a thing totally of itself. We could spend days talking about that. But at home, this is where we need to go and prove that this is the level that we can compete at, and that we can be a good team at this level. And it'd be good to see a Brendan Rodgers Celtic team make a statement in Europe. We had it in the first season. The Man City performance at home was one where he thought this team can go on and really compete at Champions League level. That never materialised, and we've seen a regression in European terms. To be blunt about it, we've seen a regression. We had a good performance against Zenit in the home leg last year that again went to pot away for home, but it'd be good to see us in a group stage send out a statement to say that we can still be a good European team at this level.
It would be good to see, but again, because of that, like over the last however many years, Celtic have just fallen away from Fortress Parkhead, and it's a shame, because as much as yes, European football's changed, Celtic should, in my opinion, have changed to adapt with that and kind of done a bit more. But again, you could talk about that endlessly. I would just like to think that we can put on a performance against Leipzig, get the win, and like you say, start to make a statement and put down a stamp of, when you come to Celtic Park, you've got a game in your hand. When you come to Celtic Park, we're a good team, we believe in ourselves, and we can do damage at Celtic Park as well, because we're miles off doing anything away from home. Teams know that, and that is going to be something that sticks with us until we do otherwise as a team, as a club.
Back to the first game then.
Yep.
Defensively for us, we've talked about Leipzig defensively.
Yeah.
For us, again, when I watched it back, the 2 goals that we lost were so cheap, so avoidable. First one we switch off at a throw in, the cross comes in, Kouassi misses it, Boyata misses it, and then Cunha finishes it. And the second one, Gamboa dives in, Sriracha gets by him, and for the cutback, even when the cutback comes in, I think Eboué and Cham and Boyata, I think it hits off all of them. They all go for it, and it lands for Bruma to finish. It's so avoidable, so easily avoidable. So if we can eradicate these errors on Thursday, and you'd hope that we can, because the defence will be different, we'd expect maybe Lustig to be back in instead of Gamboa. Benkovic will hopefully play this game, as he didn't in the away game. And if we can eradicate the errors, then we'll give ourselves a much better chance of winning.
100%. 100%. And you would expect that those errors won't happen as readily at Celtic Park, because there is that bit of the 12th man, the crowd behind them, the atmosphere, the belief, the confidence, and that's just what lacks away from home. There's always defensive errors away from home for Celtic. We always open the door too easily and let teams in, and you can't create opportunities for teams in Europe any at home or away, because they'll punish you, because that's the standard you're playing at. You're not playing against the Scottish Premiership teams. These teams have got quality right through the team, and they will put balls away in the back of the net when you open the door for them. So I don't think that we're going to be like that, and I don't even think we're at the same lineup that you would have the same mistakes at Celtic Park. I just think the 12 man's such a massive factor. So I think we need to eradicate those problems, but it is more of a factor for away football in Europe than it is at home, and I'd like to think that we can just knock them right out of the game on Thursday.
It should inspire, it should take away the fear. Playing at home should take away the fear for the players.
Yeah.
But moving on, just want to touch on priorities. I've seen on Twitter recently this kind of talk about what would you rather have now that we're in the Europa League, and there was maybe a wee suggestion that with the team Brendan Rodgers picked in the away game, that he was prioritising the Betfred Cup semi-final. So we'll try and keep this brief, not getting into too much detail, but would you rather last 16 in Europa League or a treble?
See, that's horrible, because I think that we should be going for both. I think we should be looking at, again, progression. Brendan Rodgers pushed progression. I think we should be looking for both, but if you gave me the option right now, because of how we've played in Europe over the last 3 years, treble. For me, 100% treble, because that, in my mind, just computes better. It just sounds like that's something that we can feasibly do. I don't have the belief in this Celtic team to take us to the last 16, so if I don't have the belief in it, I'm going to go with the one that I think we can actually do, and I think the treble is very doable, given momentum, given form, given how we're playing now in domestic football. Every team in Scotland has got to be fearing playing Celtic, and that's a nice place to be, especially with the treble as something that we can achieve this year. 100%.
I think if we keep the levels up, it's a very real possibility.
Very real possibility.
The European progression thing, I think, is kind of, I feel like it's tapered by the sort of lack of investment that we had in the summer. Like, I don't feel like we have the quality to push on to that next level. It's a strange juxtaposition, if you like, the way we are domestically, to say that we're still miles off progressing in Europe because we look so dominant domestically, but I just don't think we've got enough quality to progress in Europe. We'll see over the next, probably see on Thursday might define it.
Aye.
if we're still alive at the end of that, but I would have a treble 100%.
100%.
Bite your hand off. So predictions then, Thursday night, Celtic Park, under the lights, the fancy lights,
the disco lights. When I sit here right now, I'd love to think that we can do equal to what Leipzig did to us, so by 2 clear goals. I would like to think that, especially the form we've been in just now, that wee bit of edge of confidence that we've got. 3-1. I can't see them coming here and not scoring. Just can't. Too dangerous, too aggressive. But I think we've got a few goals in us. I think at Parkhead, 3-1 I'm going. Big, bold statement. But we need to get some sort of win. Oh aye, big time.
To keep it alive.
Big time.
I'm going to go, probably going to let my head rule my heart here, but I think it might be 2 each. I just don't know if we're going to need a very complete performance. We're going to need to be at our best.
Yeah.
Defensively and
a slightly off night.
Offensively, and they're going to need to struggle.
Yeah.
I think they do have a lot of quality. I think they played a wee bit within themselves in the first game because they knew that they could, because we were never coming back in it after we lost the goals. I think they've got gears to go through. Celtic Park might get the gears out of them. Yeah, they might hide. I hope they hide. But I think it'll be a good game of football. I think we can score goals because of the form we're in.
Yeah.
But I think it might be a 2-2.
Big Gordon needs to have the game of his life as well, didn't he?
Aye,
Didn't he?
hopefully.
Aye.
None of the flicks though.
No silky
None
flicks,
of
no
the-
Neymar skills.
No. So we'll jump over to Twitter for the Q&A, and we'll start with Connor McFarlane. After recently putting on great performances in the league, do you feel confident about getting a result on Thursday as we're at home? I personally think this will be a different game altogether than the one away from home. Also, who will the standout player be for us? We've kind of touched on whether we think we can get a result there.
Yeah.
Who's the standout player going to be? Who does it fall upon to unlock the Leipzig defence for us?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the player that steps up, takes the responsibility and makes a difference?
You know what I want to say, right? Ryan Christie. I think, in my head, I think the big occasion player, somebody that can open games up and make a difference, Big Tommy Rogic. I think if he comes on his game, if he plays the way that he can on Thursday, I think he's a player that can change the game. I think he's a player that can create the attacking threat that we need to have goals in the game. So I think if Rogic can play to the best of his ability, then he can be the player that, for me, is a standout.
Aye, I agree. I think if you look at all of the moments Tom Rogic has given Celtic, they're all domestic.
Yeah.
It'd be great if he could just take that up a notch and have an impact in Europe, be a match winner in Europe for us, because it would take him in to another level of Celtic players, and in terms of like status and folklore. If you go back to your Maravčiks and Nakamuras and these sorts of guys, they were brilliant and they were so gifted, and similar types of players to Tom Rogic.
Yeah.
But they had great moments in Europe,
which he hasn't had yet.
Aye, it'd just be great to see him step up and be a match winner on the European stage for us. Adam at Adelaide57, do you think we can beat Leipzig and get out of the group, or how do you think we will get on this group? Obviously depends. I think if we don't get 3 points on Thursday,
we're out.
We're not mathematically out.
No.
We need Rosenborg to take 2 points off of Leipzig, and we need to win. We need to beat Rosenborg and beat Salzburg, which is a tall order.
A massively tall order. I think should we fail to win on Thursday, game's over for Europe this year.
I think so too, absolutely. At John_Celtic67, do you feel a draw would be a good result, or realistically do we need to get all 3 points? Just covered it there. We need all 3.
Draw would be a terrible result.
That's it for the Leipzig preview. Thank you very much for watching. Let us know your own thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like the video and please subscribe. We're approaching 9,000 subscribers now. We're aiming for 10 for Christmas. We're going to have a competition once we reach 10,000 subscribers. We'll have some news out about that in the weeks to come, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Thank you for watching, and we will see you at Celtic Park on Thursday.
See you on Thursday.